Hello everybody on YouTube, I'm Xaldin Wolfgang, also known as the Master 100, known as the Master of all Spellcasters. Now that I got my worst list of MLP Season 7 all done, and I might have pissed off a lot of people, but I'm going to do my best list. Now keep bear in mind, just like in my last video, that this is my list and my opinion. If you happen to not like these episodes, more power to you. Quick heads up that 3 and 4 could have been interchangeable, but as for 5, 2, and 1, they stay in their respective spots. Now let's start this list off with Number 5, Flurry of Emotion. You want to know my least favorite TV show plots? Well, it's babysitting plots. But out of all the babysitting episodes, this episode does this plot better than Baby Cakes. I'd rather watch this episode over Baby Cakes any day. Not only that, but Twilight tries her hardest to be the best aunt that she could be. But at the same time, she tries to make sick ponies happy, and Flurry Heart was pretty adorable in the episode. Number 4, A Health of Information. Now, normally I'm not a big fan of Fluttershy, nor many of her episodes, except Flutter Brother and this episode. This episode really showed Fluttershy at her best, trying to find a cure for Zeccora's illness. And we see one of my favorite legends, Mage Meadowbrook, and Twilight was a great voice of reason in this episode. But what puts the cherry on top of this delicious sundae of an episode is the lesson, where you should also be concerned for your health as just as much as others. Number 3, Forever Philly. When I reviewed this episode, I mentioned that I relate to this episode in both ways. It's an older brother and a younger brother as well. And we see Sweetie Belle Bass CMC at her best here, and having the metaphor of a dog growing up was a very nice touch. Number 2, The Perfect Pear. Well everybody, we finally got our answers about Applejack's parents, thanks to this episode and my two favorite pair of writers, Jonah Lewis and Christine Sunko. They really gave us a great episode and a wonderful love story between Bright Mac and Pear Butter. We also see the emotion from each of the characters where they tell their story about Bright Mac and Pear Butter. And the song, I could just listen to it over and over again. Jonah Lewis and Christine Sunko, thank you for a great episode. Now before I show you all my number 1 pick for the best episode in Season 7, let me go through some honorable mentions. Celestial Advice, the Celestia episode everyone was waiting for, and it paid off by giving Celestia good character development. Disorient Harmony, this episode really showed a good side of Discord and what he's willing to do to make Fluttershy happy. Now for my number 1 best episode in Season 7 is Once Upon a Zeppelin. A lot of you aren't surprised this is my number 1 pick for the best episode in Season 7, but if you are new, as I said in my last video, if you're new, welcome. The reason why I put this episode in number 1 is because it showed Twilight at her best. Just like in the episode of Mending Fences, this episode really showed how great of a character Twilight is, and not only that, but it challenged her. She had to try to balance out both making cruise ponies happy while trying to spend time with her family. And not only that, but the message is relatable to a lot, and that's why I consider this the best episode in Season 7. So that was my top list. Hope you all enjoyed, thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you all in my next video.
Sweet.